Welcome back to the channel JF Coin. If you love rare coins, hidden treasures, and money you never knew was valuable, then today's video is absolutely for you. Because today we're diving into the fascinating story of one very special coin, the 1988 Lincoln penny, sometimes referred to by collectors as the Ultra Lincoln penny, a coin that's only worth 1 cent. Or a lot more depending on what you have. Asterisk asterisk astonish face backhand index pointing right. Stick around because we're going deep. We'll talk history, rarity, how to spot valuable versions, and why some are selling for hundreds, even thousands, on the collector market. Musical note: quick bumper / cut music. Chapter 1. What is the 1988 Lincoln penny? Host voiceover. First, let's talk about exactly what this coin is and why hobbyists care about it. The 1988 Lincoln penny is a 1-cent coin produced in the United States featuring the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. That's the front side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This design belongs to the Memorial Cent series, which was introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday and remained the standard until the redesign in 2009. Antiques know how, unlike older penny designs, these 1988 cents are mostly made of copper-plated zinc, a change that started in 1982 when the U.S. Mint shifted away from heavier copper due to rising metal costs. Coin value checker. Now, when most people think penny, they picture something almost worthless, literally 1 cent, and in average circulated condition. That's absolutely true. A standard 1988 penny is still just a penny in face value. Cointrackers.com. But here's where it gets interesting. Light bulb. Chapter 2. Standard values versus collectible values. Host. In your change, a regular 1988 penny is just that, about 1 cent. But in the collecting world, the story changes based on condition, rarity, and even errors. Let's break that down. Pushpin standard penny values. Ordinary circulated penny, basically 1 cent, just like face value. Cointrackers.com. Uncirculated mint state, perfect, crisp coin can be worth a few dollars up to around $2 to $3. Cointrackers.com. But, and this is a big but, some versions of the same penny have sold for significantly more, especially when they're rare or in exceptional condition. Antiques know how. Fire. Chapter 3. Rare varieties and errors that boost value. Host. Here's the exciting part. Some 1988 pennies come with errors, design differences, or special characteristics that make them very collectible. These rare versions are the ones that sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Let's look at the most valuable categories. Small blue diamond 1. Red RD, high-grade coins. These are pennies that still have nearly all of their original red copper color. Heavy checkmark red coins in top grades, MS68 RD or MS69 RD, have sold for $300 to $7,000 plus. Yes, really. Coinweek.com. Small blue diamond 2. Flared G/reverse of 1989 variety. Some coins are struck with a slightly different design, a so-called flared G, or even a reverse die intended for a different year. These can be very rare and collectible, sometimes selling for hundreds or even more. Coinidentifier.com. Small blue diamond 3. Double die or double ear errors. This occurs when the design is struck twice, giving the coin a doubled appearance. These can range from $30 all the way to $250 plus depending on grade and visibility. Coinidentifier.com. Small blue diamond 4. Struck on wrong planchet / off-center errors. Some error pennies are actually misstruck, like on a dime planchet or offset from the center. These have been known to sell for hundreds of dollars at auction. Tokak Money Bag. Chapter 4. What about that $442 value? Host on camera. Now you might be wondering, you've probably seen videos and listings online claiming a 1988 penny is worth $442, or even more. Is that real? Here's the truth. Heavy checkmark average everyday pennies? They're usually worth only face value, 1 cent, unless they're in extraordinary condition. Cointrackers.com. Heavy checkmark coins graded and certified by major services, like PCGS or NGC, in top grades can fetch prices in the hundreds, and occasionally more, depending on the rarity and demand. Coinweek.com. Heavy checkmark errors and rare varieties sold at auction have crossed $400, $1,000 and even several $1,000s before, but you must be sure it's authentic, certified, and graded to back it up. Coinweek.com. So if someone tells you every 1988 penny is worth $442, that's misleading. Only special ones under certain conditions reach that kind of market value. Brain Chapter 5. How to check your 1988 penny for value host. Want to find out if your 1988 penny is worth big money? Here's a quick checklist. Look at the color. Bright red pennies are more valuable. Check for doubled letters or numbers using a magnifying glass. Compare the design details with normal coins. Search online for images. Have it graded by a professional grading service. That's where the real value gets confirmed. If your coin passes all these tests, you might have something worth hundreds or even more. Chart increasing. Chapter 6. The market today host voiceover. Coin collecting is alive and booming. Collectors around the world are actively trading, buying, and selling coins. Recent auctions, including historic penny lots, have sold for millions of dollars. Even the last US pennies ever minted in 2025 brought in nearly $17 million at auction. That shows the passion and potential value in this hobby. AP News. It also reminds us that coins considered everyday change can turn into treasures depending on rarity, condition, and demand. Checkered flag wrap-up / call TOACTION host on camera. So what's the bottom line? Yellow circle. A standard 1988 Lincoln penny is usually worth 1 cent. But yellow circle, if it's rare, error-related, high-grade, or certified, it can be worth much more, sometimes in the hundreds or thousands. Smiling face with sunglasses. If you've got a stack of pennies at home, go check them right now. You may be sitting on a collectible you didn't even know you had. Speech balloon. Drop a comment below if you want a video on how to spot these errors step by step. Thumbs up, and if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more hidden coin treasure content, and hit the bell so you never miss a money-making video. Musical note. Outro music kicks in. Host. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next treasure hunt. Need a thumbnail, title, or description text for this video too? Just ask. Today we're diving into something super fascinating. We're talking about a coin you probably have in your pocket, in a jar on your shelf, or tucked away in an old box. The 1994 Lincoln penny. Yes, that tiny 1-cent coin from the USA that most people walk past every day. But that tiny coin could be worth way more than you think. You've probably seen videos and listings online claiming the 1994 penny is worth hundreds, even over $400, $600, or more. Today we're going to go deep into the value, history, what to look for, what sells, and what's real versus hype. If you've got one of these coins, don't throw it away before watching this video. Let's get started. History and background. Let's start with the basics. What is the 1994 Lincoln penny? In 1994, the United States Mint struck pennies with 3 different mint marks. That means 3 different places. One with no mint mark from Philadelphia, one with a small D from the Denver Mint, and one with an S from San Francisco. But the most common one you'll find in everyday change is the Denver coin, the 1994 Lincoln penny. This coin features President Abraham Lincoln on the front, just like all modern pennies, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. It's made mostly of zinc with a thin copper plating. These pennies were made for regular everyday use, to buy candy, to give at fairs, to tip a street performer. But today, some of them are being collected because of condition and rarity. Despite being produced in the billions, over 7.1 billion 1994 pennies were made, there's still a market for high-quality, or rare examples. Rarest.org. What is the value of a 1994 Lincoln penny? Now the big question, how much is a 1994 penny really worth? Most 1994 pennies in circulated condition, that is, ones that have been used and show wear, are only worth their face value, 1 cent. That's right, 1 cent. Just like the coin says. Cointrackers.com. But here's where it gets interesting. The value changes dramatically depending on condition and rarity. If your coin is in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks like it just came out of the mint, and especially if it has a gorgeous, original red color, then collectors will pay premiums. Online value guides show that a basic uncirculated 1994 might sell for a few dollars. A well-preserved, high-grade coin can fetch $50, $100, or more, and some exceptional, top-graded pieces have been known to sell for hundreds of dollars. In fact, certain top-graded specimens of the 1994 Lincoln penny have been documented selling for over $600 in major coin auctions. That's like turning 1 cent into $600. US Coins Guide. So yes, some coins are worth a lot more than face value, but not all of them. What makes a penny worth more? So what separates an ordinary penny from a valuable one? There are three main factors. The first is condition, coins with no wear, sharp details, and original color. These coins are graded by professionals on a scale from MS60 up to MS70. The closer you get to MS70, the more valuable the coin. Antiques know how the second is color. Lincoln pennies can come in red RD, which means most of the original red copper color is intact. Red brown, RB, and brown BN, where all the red is gone. Red coins usually bring the highest prices. Antiques know how the third is rare errors or die varieties, like off-center strikes, doubled dies, or unusual planchet mistakes. Some of these error coins can sell for significantly more than normal ones. U.S. Coins Guide, but be careful. Many so-called rare pennies online are just overpriced listings with no real collector interest, and coin experts call these scams. New York Post IS the $442 value real. You asked about $442. Yes, some listings claim that a 1994 D penny can be worth as much as $442. The truth is, that kind of price is only possible if the coin is in top condition, usually professionally graded and certified by third-party grading companies like PCGS or NGC, and often with the original red color and no wear. Most pennies are not worth that much. So if someone tells you every 1994 D penny is worth hundreds, that's simply not true. But some exceptional ones have indeed crossed the asterisk hundreds of dollars threshold at auction. U.S. Coins Guide, how to check your coin. Here's a quick checklist to see if your 1994 D penny might be worth something. Look at the mint mark. Is there a tiny D under the date? Check the condition. Is it shiny and crisp? Or worn? Look at the color. Red means it could be more valuable. Compare it to grading guides online. See what similar coins sold for recently. If you find something that looks amazing, take it to a professional coin dealer or grading service before selling. Never trust random online listings for price. Antiques know how why collectors buy OLDPNNIES. So why are collectors so interested in pennies like these? Because coins tell a story. They show us history, political changes, minting techniques, cultural moments, and even economic shifts. And lately, the U.S. penny itself has become part of history, because production of the penny has officially ended after over 200 years of use. That means every penny from now on becomes part of a closed chapter in U.S. currency history. People.com. This has skyrocketed interest in pennies from every era, including modern ones like the 1994 D.OUTRO. So what's the bottom line? If you've got a 1994 D Lincoln penny, don't toss it. Most will be worth 1 cent, but some are worth a whole lot more, especially if they are in exceptional, uncirculated condition. Thanks for watching. If you learned something new today, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and let me know in the comments, did you find a 1994 D penny worth more than $1? More than $10? Or even more than $100? Until next time, keep checking that change. You never know what treasure might be hiding right under your nose. Moneybag United States. If you want this script in mini script, voiceover only, or with music cues and timestamps, just tell me. Today we're talking about a tiny coin you've probably seen 1,000 times, but you won't believe how valuable some of these are. That's right, we're diving deep into the 2006 1-cent Lincoln penny from the United States, a coin that most people think is just worth 1 penny, but in some cases can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars on the collector market. Moneybag, you might be scooping these up every day in your change jar and throwing them in the kitchen drawer. But stick around, because what we uncover today might just make you rush to check your spare coins. Segment 1. What is the 2006 Lincoln penny? The 2006 Lincoln cent is part of the long-running Lincoln penny series that dates back to 1909, when the United States first put Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the 1-cent coin to honor the 100th anniversary of his birth. In 2006, the penny still featured the classic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in use since 1959. That year, the Philadelphia Mint produced around 4.29 billion coins, and the Denver Mint added nearly 3.94 billion more, meaning this coin is not rare in everyday circulation. Cointrackers.com. +1. Under normal circumstances, a 2006 penny in your pocket is worth, well, 1 cent. Light bulb. Segment 2. But wait. Why do people say it can be worth way more? Here's where things get really interesting. Ordinary circulated 2006 pennies are indeed only worth their face value, about $0.01 and change. Cointrackers.com. But coin collectors operate in a different universe of value, one where condition, rarity, and unique characteristics can turn that tiny piece of metal into a serious collectible. There are a few big reasons why a 2006 penny might be worth a lot more than 1 cent. Fire, Segment 3, Condition Matters, Mint State versus Circulated. Most pennies you find are worn, scratched, and have been in pockets or cash trays for years. Those are worth only what they say on the coin. 1 cent. Cointrackers.com. But if your penny has never been spent, meaning it still has its original mint luster, crisp detail, and no scratches, collectors call that uncirculated or mint state. These high-condition coins are much scarcer than we might guess, even if lots were originally made. In fact, high-grade examples of the 2006 penny, especially those in top collector condition, have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Coin Value Checker, for example, small orange diamond A 2006 red uncirculated penny graded MS68 RD, one of the absolute highest quality grades, has been recorded selling for around $2,600 or more. Coin Value Checker. That means a coin you think is only worth a penny could be worth thousands if it has perfect surfaces, original color, and no abrasions. Collision, Segment 4, Rare Varieties and Error Coins. Want even more excitement? There are error pennies, coins with minting mistakes, and those can be even more valuable. Some 2006 pennies were miscapped or struck with imperfections that make them highly collectible. Here are a few examples. Heavy checkmark double die errors, where parts of the design look doubled because the die struck the coin more than once. These error coins have sold for several $100s. Coin Value Checker. Heavy checkmark off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted and part of the date or image is missing. Depending on how dramatic the error is, these can fetch nice premiums. US Coins Guide. Heavy checkmark other mint errors, things like lamination errors or strike faults. Some of these error pennies have sold for over $1,000. Coin Value Checker. And remember, not every error makes a penny instantly valuable, but the rare and pronounced ones can definitely get collectors' attention. Chart increasing, Segment 5, Why collectors pay so much. You might be wondering, if there are billions of these coins, why do collectors pay more for some? Here's the magic combination collectors look for: sparkle, scarcity, and high grade. How many of these coins survived in perfect condition? Sparkle's original appearance. Collectors prefer bright red copper color with no spots or scratches. Sparkle's mint errors. Mistakes make coins unique and collectible. Sparkle's market demand. When many collectors want one rare example, price shoots up. So while most 2006 pennies are common, a small fraction of them are rare because of how they survived or how they were struck. Money with wings, Segment 6. Current market value. So what's today's market value? Here's a quick breakdown you can use to check your coins. Small blue diamond circulated 2006 penny, 1 cent to a few cents. Small blue diamond uncirculated common mint state pennies, few dollars. Small blue diamond high mint state, MS65 plus RD can be hundreds. Small blue diamond top grade rare specimens, MS68 plus RD potentially thousands. Small blue diamond error and special varieties, from hundreds to over $1,000 plus depending on rarity. Cointrackers.com +1. Yes, that means a penny you found in your couch might actually be worth hundreds of dollars if it's the perfect example. Direct hit, Segment 7. What to do if you think you found a rare one? Ready to check your coins? Here's how to begin. Clean your hands. Never clean the coin itself. Scrubbing old coins can destroy their collectible value. Look at the color and detail. Bright red original surface is a good start. Look for errors. Doubling, off-center designs, strange marks. These can be clues. Check the date and mint mark. No mint mark versus D versus S can have small value differences. Cointrackers.com. Consider professional grading if you think your coin is special. A grading service gives official confirmation of condition and can unlock top market prices. Fire, OUTRO, call TO action. So next time you're checking out your change jar or pocket change, don't ignore the 1 cent coins. That small, everyday penny could be hiding some serious value and history. From everyday change worth a cent to collector grade pieces worth hundreds or even thousands, the story of the 2006 Lincoln cent is a perfect example of how numismatics turns ordinary coins into treasures. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another coin adventure. And let me know in the comments, What's the most surprising coin value you've ever found? Happy hunting, and keep those eyes sharp for hidden treasures. Moneybag, would you like a short video script version, a thumbnail/title idea, or chapter timestamps for your YouTube upload? Let me know! Today we're diving deep into one of the most interesting and misunderstood pennies in modern US coin collecting, the 1983 Lincoln penny. And I'll show you how one of these coins can be worth way more than its face value, including values around $442 and even much more depending on condition and rarity. Fire if you love rare coins, hidden treasures, and making sense of losers in your pocket change. This video is for you. Move camera, Section 1. What is the 1983 Lincoln penny? Let's start with the basics. The 1983 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. These pennies show Lincoln's portrait on the front, obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, reverse. Cointrackers.com. But 1983 was a special year in U.S. coinage because it was the first full year after the U.S. Mint permanently switched from solid copper pennies to a zinc core with copper plating. This change happened because copper metal became more valuable than 1 cent itself, so the mint needed a cheaper metal to produce pennies. Pennyverse.info. So what did that mean in real life? Right arrow. Most 1983 pennies are common zinc pennies worth only a cent, or maybe a few cents if uncirculated. Cointrackers.com. But the story gets interesting when we talk about rare varieties, errors, and collector-grade examples. Movie camera, Section 2. Why 1983 pennies can be valuable. While the vast majority of these coins are worth just a penny in circulation, certain 1983 Lincoln pennies are worth big money in the collector world, sometimes hundreds or even tens of thousands of dollars. Depending on what you have. Here's why. Small blue diamond 1. Condition. Grading matters a lot. Coins are graded on condition from worn, circulated, to pristine, uncirculated, or MS, mint state. A 1983 penny in museum perfect condition can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Pennyverse.info. For example, a 1983 penny graded MS68 sold for over $1,800 plus. A 1983 penny graded MS68 plus has sold for $5,000 plus. Pennyverse.info. These grades reflect extremely sharp details and virtually nowhere. Things coin collectors pay premium for. Small blue diamond 2. Double die and other errors. Some 1983 pennies were struck in a way that caused the letters or numbers to appear doubled, a famous error called a double die. Pennyverse.info. These error coins command very high prices. In fact, some of these double die 1983 pennies have sold at auction for sparkles up to $7,000 or more depending on grade and visibility of the doubling. EDAF news. So if you find a 1983 penny that looks weird, especially in the lettering on the back, that could be a big deal. Small blue diamond 3. Composition errors. Copper versus zinc. Remember earlier when we said 1983 pennies were supposed to be zinc with copper plating? Well, some coins were accidentally struck on leftover copper blanks from before the change. Antiques know how these are extremely rare and extremely valuable. Round pushpin. A genuine 1983 penny struck on all copper planchet, weighing 3.1 g, has been known to sell for $10,000 to $23,000 plus at auction. Antiques know how this is the holy grail for many penny collectors. Warning tip: you can weigh your penny on a tiny scale. If it's heavier than 2.5 g, it might actually be one of these rare copper coins. Move camera, Section 3. Real market values today. So what's the market doing right now? Regular 1983 pennies in average condition? Backhand index pointing right, still worth about 1 cent to a few dollars. Cointrackers.com. Uncirculated but common mint state coins, like MS63, MS65, backhand index pointing right, often $20 to $300 plus depending on color and eye appeal. CoinValueLookup.com. Double die or rare air varieties, backhand index pointing right. These can blow past hundreds or thousands, sometimes into the $5,000 to $8,000 range, or even beyond for stunning examples. CoinValueLookup.com. And those extremely rare copper planchet 1983 pennies, backhand index pointing right, we're talking $10,000 to $23,000 plus based on auction history. Antiques know how. So when people mention a number like $442 or more, that's definitely realistic for a very well graded, desirable 1983 penny, especially if it has a variety or great eye appeal. Movie camera, Section 4. How to spot a valuable one yourself. Here's what you should do if you find a 1983 penny in your pocket or drawer. Thumbs up 1. Check the weight. Normal zinc penny, about 2.5 grams. Rare copper error, about 3.1 grams. If it weighs a lot more than normal, that's a signal. Antiques know how camera with flash too. Examine the details. Any doubling in the letters or numbers? Any unusual surface texture or strike? Errors like that could mean big value. Round pushpin 3. Look for mint marks. 1983, no mark, equals Philadelphia. 1983 D equals Denver. 1983 S equals San Francisco. Proof coins in high grades can also be valuable. Sometimes $100 to $1,500 plus in top condition. Pennyverse.info pushpin 4. Grade it. If you think you have something rare, get it graded by PCGS or NGC. This can dramatically raise the coin's market value. Movie camera, section 5. Final thoughts and encouragement. Even though most 1983 pennies are common and worth just face value, the possibility of something rare and highly valuable is what makes coin collecting so exciting. You could have hundreds or thousands of dollars sitting right in your loose change drawer right now. Light bulb. Remember, round pushpin. Not every 1983 penny is worth $4.42, round pushpin, but some can easily exceed that number in the right conditions. So the next time you find an old penny in your pocket, don't just say, 1 cent, and toss it. Look closer. That tiny coin could be hiding a major numismatic story. Megaphone. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and comment below if you want help identifying a coin you found. I'll be happy to help you figure out if you've got a treasure in your hands. Would you like a printable checklist for identifying valuable pennies like the 1983, including weights, photos, and grading tips? Let me know and I'll send it next. Inbox Strain Money Bag Sparkles. Thanks for watching. Now go check those jars of coins.